Hi, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself and why I became a homeopath. My first introduction to homeopathy was about 20 to 30 years ago, and I did a little taster course at church one day and I thought it was just amazing. I also knew it would never be part of my life because life was just a struggle at that time. But about 20 years later, having been widowed and newly remarried, my husband kept encouraging me to go and study something that I would enjoy so that I could get a job that I liked. I considered all sorts of things and I even looked into some of them pretty seriously, but nothing inspired me enough to want to do it for the rest of my life. Then I remembered my excitement over homeopathy and I looked it up on the internet and I found a lot of really negative stuff about it, nothing positive at all. So I just binned that idea and I went back to looking at things like teaching and web designing and just got on with my job. Shortly afterwards, I visited my mum and she told me that a couple of days ago her arm had started going red and swelling up, and it just started getting worse and worse, and she was a little bit concerned as the redness went up her arm. So she went next door to a neighbour to see if she had any advice and what she thought. And her neighbour's niece was visiting her, and her neighbour's niece was a homeopath. So mum showed off her arm and the homeopath lady said, that looks like cellulitis to me and it's actually pretty serious. And she offered to take mum straight down to A&E or to give her a homeopathic remedy to see if it helped. Mum chose the homeopathic remedy, not a fan of hospitals. And the story is that they all just sat and watched over the next hour as her arm just got better and better and the redness went down, and until an hour or so later it was normal. And mum was so excited about this. And that renewed my interest, which I'd only a few days ago dismissed. And I rang the homeopathic lady that had just given my mum that remedy and got a lot of information off her, and she motivated me again. And I phoned up the School of Homeopathy, which was in Devon, and I was shortly moving to Cornwall, so that all fitted in really well. And a few months later, I began studying at the School of Homeopathy in Devon. I loved it, but I soon discovered I was the only person to have never visited a homeopath. And I didn't realise how strange that was, that somebody would commit to 4 years of studying homeopathy when they'd never had any homeopathic treatment themselves. And my principal encouraged me to go along for the experience. And I was newly pregnant and I thought, oh, I don't know about that. And I don't really think I've got enough wrong with me to go to a homeopath. And he kind of raised his eyebrows a bit dubiously and said, are you sure? And I said, well, I do get these awful headaches, but I've had them since I was a teenager and I was now in my 40s. And I don't think homeopathy could really help with them anyway. They're far too bad. And he just grinned at me and said, I think you're in for a bit of a treat. So he gave me some names of some homeopaths near me. And I went off, not quite sure that's what I wanted to do, being pregnant. But after another really bad headache, I thought, yes, I'm going to go and give it a try. And I went along and I got a remedy and I've never had a bad headache since then. So that's how homeopathy really helped me and why I became a homeopath. I hope you enjoyed hearing it.